Ever get that feeling, that there's just more out there, more potential locked up inside you?
Oh, definitely. That feeling of wanting to tap into something bigger.
Exactly. And that leads us right into today's topic. We're doing a deep dive into something called quantum jumping.
Right. Specifically, the ideas put forward by Burt Goldman. It's really a fascinating exploration of accessing potential, maybe from other realities.
Burt Goldman himself, quite a character. His background is, well, incredibly varied.
It really is. You're talking encounters with a shaman in Korea, learning from a Hawaiian kahuna.
Even training in yoga with Paramahansa Yogananda. But then things take this interesting turn, right?
Yeah, in his late 70s, he dives into physics, gets really interested in the work of physicists like Alan Wolf, Michio Kaku.
And was influenced by that quote from Professor Franks about imagined universes actually existing.
Exactly. So this blend of, let's say, metaphysical exploration and ideas inspired by quantum physics really forms the basis of his quantum jumping concept.
The core idea being infinite universes.
Potentially, yes. The possibility that there are countless versions of you. He calls them doppelgangers or twin selves.
Living out different lives, making different choices, maybe already having the skills or abundance you're looking for.
That's the essence of it. And our mission today, really, is to explore these foundational concepts of quantum jumping as Goldman presented them.
See how they might potentially influence different parts of your life.
And it's crucial we emphasize we're exploring the ideas here. We're not presenting this as established scientific fact.
Absolutely. It's about the concepts themselves. Now, he talks a lot about rhythm, doesn't he? Or energy.
He does. This idea that successful people or healthy people, even places, might have a different kind of vibration.
And quantum jumping, in his view, is a mental technique to tune into that, to bring back the rhythm of success, as he puts it.
Kind of like mentally tuning into a frequency that's already broadcasting what you want. It's about shifting your internal state by observing these other potential selves.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First stop, abundance.
And his definition of abundance is really broad. It's not just about money.
Right, he means lots of, well, everything good. Wealth, health, relationships, career, home.
Spiritual connection, adventure. It's a whole picture.
He even has that scale, the Mechnus 100 to plus 100 thing for abundance versus scarcity.
Yeah, it makes you think, where do you personally fall on that spectrum right now? It's a useful self-check.
And he makes a really interesting point about the law of attraction.
That just wanting something isn't enough if your underlying rhythm is off.
Like trying to attract wealth when you're vibrating scarcity, you might even attract the opposite.
Precisely. Your internal frequency might be filtering things out or even repelling what you want.
So the first jump for abundance is jump into an abundant mindset. What's the idea there?
It's about mentally visiting a version of you, a twin self, who just naturally has a positive, optimistic attitude, especially about money.
So you observe them hoping to kind of absorb that mindset.
That's the goal, to internalize those thought patterns by immersing yourself in their reality for a bit.
And the technique sounds simple. Relax. Repeat the number 3.
Yeah, the 3 is meant to help shift your focus, make you more receptive. Then visualize a door, step through.
And just watch this positive twin self go about their day.
Observe their actions, their attitude, how they handle things. He even suggests trying jumps to twin selves with negative or neutral attitudes for comparison.
Interesting. Okay. Then there's jump into a lucky you. How does luck fit in?
He links it to ESP, extrasensory perception. The idea is that maybe luck isn't totally random.
More like being intuitively tuned in.
Perhaps, yeah. More aware of subtle opportunities or cues that others might miss.
He uses that coin flip analogy, right?
Right. Flip a coin 1,000 times, expect 500, 500. But someone with abundant ESP might get, say, 600, 400, a subtle edge.
Okay. Next, jump into a savvy investor.
This one's focused on financial intelligence, connecting with a twin self who just gets investing.
And investing here doesn't just mean Wall Street, does it?
No, not necessarily millions. Just making smart choices with resources, hoping for a larger return, whatever the scale.
So you focus on what you want to invest in, then visit this savvy twin.
Observe their approach, their thinking. The idea is you might gain some perspective, maybe some confidence.
And finally, for abundance, jump into ultimate wealth.
This is very personal. It's about visiting a twin self who has achieved what you define as ultimate wealth.
So you visualize going through the door and seeing what that ultimate wealth looks like for that version of you.
Exactly. Observing the representations of their success as defined by your idea of it.
Okay, that's a lot on abundance. Let's shift gears to ideal health. Goldman seemed very passionate about this.
Absolutely. He really believed quantum jumping could support health at any age. I mean, look at him starting things in his 70s and 80s.
He definitely walked the talk there. And attitude is key again.
Foundational, he says. A positive attitude is crucial for ideal health.
So the first health jump, preparation to jump into your ideal body.
This is about focusing on the physical attributes you desire.
And then visiting a twin self who already embodies them.
Right. Aligning your mental picture with what you want physically.
Right.
By visualizing it, observing it, you're potentially influencing your own body through your mind.
Then there's jump into your energized self.
That's about capturing that feeling of youthful vitality, connecting with a twin self who just radiates energy.
And the visualization is similar for both. Relax. Number 3, door.
Observe, and then, importantly, merge with that twin self.
Merge. What does that mean?
It suggests a deeper integration. You're not just watching. You're trying to embody those qualities, the physique, the energy, yourself.
Interesting. And he connects this to mindset again, saying a healthy mindset is the secret to looking and feeling younger.
Yes, which leads directly to the jump into a healthy mindset.
So this one is purely about attitude towards health.
Exactly. Visiting a twin self who has that positive, resilient perspective and learning to adopt it.
He uses that dented fender example, right?
Yeah, it's great. Same dent. But one person freaks out, the other shrugs. It perfectly shows how mindset colors your reality, even your physical experience.
It really does. Okay, let's move into healthy relationships. His core idea here.
It's all about needs. Relationships thrive when both people feel their important needs are being met. Mutual fulfillment.
Makes sense. So preparation to jump into loving relationships starts with
thinking about your own needs, but also really considering the needs of the other person. What do they require?
And the jump itself involves visualizing fulfilling their needs.
Yes. Imagine actively meeting those needs and see the positive effect it has on the whole dynamic. It's about being proactive.
He also talks about need changers, like drugs or alcohol.
Right. Things that create artificial needs. He stresses shifting the focus to creating a shared need for something positive, like sobriety, if that's an issue.
Okay. Then attracting the ideal mate jump. This sounds like the law of attraction again.
It has elements of that. Using energy like a metaphorical magnet.
So you visualize the qualities you want, looks, actions, beliefs.
Generosity, everything.
Yeah.
And then you visit a twin self who's already with that ideal person.
Observing that successful relationship dynamic.
Exactly. Aligning your energy, focusing your intention.
What about friendships? Preparation to jump into fun friendships.
He emphasizes that these should be enjoyable, lighthearted. You can even bring others along mentally.
Bring others. How?
Just imagine them participating in the visualization with you. He even gives examples like visiting twin selves living as historical figures just for fun.
Like being Hemingway in Paris.
Or Van Gogh and Arles, exactly. Then the jump into fun friendships itself is about imagining twin selves having fun, maybe even making work more enjoyable.
Using imagination to inject more fun into life.
Okay.
And family. Healthy family dynamics.
He uses that tree analogy or the trunk, family members of the branches.
Providing stability and support.
Right. And emphasizing unconditional love, respecting everyone's uniqueness. He also notes you can bring deceased relatives into spiritual jumps.
We'll get to those. So the healthy family dynamics jump
is visualizing your chosen family unit in perfect harmony, positive energy flowing, love, creating that mental ideal.
Got it. Okay, let's pivot to career and success. He calls career your path through life.
Yes, and he points out how sometimes career choices seem almost accidental.
The story about the leaf, the caterpillar, and Nixon?
Exactly. How tiny causes can have huge effects. It highlights that element of chance.
So, preparation to jump into a purposeful career is about being more deliberate.
Thinking through options, consequences, before making big moves, using the jump process to explore potential paths mentally.
Then there's jump into a happy workplace. This involves glasses.
Metaphorical ones. PV, positive viewpoint eyeglasses. A mental tool to focus only on the good stuff at work.
Like putting on rose-tinted glasses, but intentionally?
Kind of. You visualize a happy twin self wearing them, then you merge, and imagine putting them on yourself, shifting your focus.
Interesting technique. What about mentors? Preparation to jump into the power of the mentor.
This starts by thinking of someone you really admire in your field.
And the jump
is visiting a twin self who's either being mentored by that person or he's the mentor themselves, experiencing that guidance dynamic.
Tapping into that wisdom. Okay, and blissful success.
First, preparation to jump into blissful success means defining what that even means to you personally.
It's different for everyone.
Totally. Then the jump into blissful success is about visiting a twin self who just embodies success, who knows only that rhythm.
Absorbing that rhythm of success. He mentions Coué here too.
Emile Coué, yeah. And his mantra, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, reinforcing that successful mindset.
Right. Okay, deep breath. Let's talk happy home. He brings in feng shui.
Yes, using it as a way to create order and harmony in your home, which then reflects into your life.
The analogy of the lake and the wind.
Illustrating energy flow and how placing objects with intent can influence that flow.
First step, preparation to jump into clutter-free. He's serious about this one.
Very. Clutter has to go. Trash, stuff you don't use, old clothes, old food. He even warns about used mattresses holding on to old energies.
Wow. Okay. Why is clutter so bad?
It represents stagnant energy, blocks the positive flow. Clearing it is step one.
And the jump into clutter-free is just visualizing that clean space.
Visiting a twin self in a totally clutter-free zone, feeling that clarity.
Then preparation to jump into feng shui guru. The key here is intent.
Absolutely. It's not just moving furniture. It's the intention behind the placement that creates the energy shift.
So the jump into feng shui guru involves watching a twin self expertly arranging things with that intention.
Yes, creating that metaphoric design for a happy home through visualization.
Then there's a really optimistic one, preparation to jump into the green clean.
This envisions a future world that solved its environmental problems, expanding the idea of home to the planet.
And the jump takes you there, to a bubble dome city, clean energy.
Visiting twin selves in that ideal, harmonious, ecologically balanced future, experiencing it mentally.
Finally, for home, preparation to jump into home harmony.
This emphasizes that a harmonious home is one where each room fulfills its intended purpose, meeting the needs associated with it.
Kitchen for nourishment, bedroom for rest, etc.
Exactly. And the jump into home harmony jump is visiting a twin self whose home embodies this perfectly, no clutter, everything in its place, peaceful.
Creating that mental template for your own ideal space.
Precisely.
Okay, now for a different dimension entirely. Spiritual connection.
Goldman saw quantum jumping as a way to explore spirituality that wasn't solely based on faith, more experiential.
He talks about the spiritual plane being all now, infinite choice.
Dissolving linear time, suggesting spiritual experience is accessible right here, right now.
And the vibration concept comes back. Meditating elevates your mental vibration towards the spiritual.
That's the idea. Connecting physical, mental, spiritual through frequency.
First spiritual jump. Preparation to jump into open heart. What's an open heart here?
The center of love, empathy, compassion. Being receptive to positive energy, able to give and receive empathy freely.
And the jump into open heart.
Takes you to that spiritual dimension, visualized as bright light, experiencing overwhelming empathy from a twin self there.
Then preparation to jump into energetic connection. For boundless energy.
Tapping into the perceived inexhaustible energy of the spiritual realm.
So the jump involves revisiting that bright light, seeing energy everywhere, and connecting with a high-energy twin.
Yes, intentionally merging with that vitality.
Next, preparation to jump into your spirit center. Sounds intense.
He describes it as the core of your being, a place of profound, unconditional love.
And the jump involves moving towards an even brighter light, a vortex, and merging with that universal love.
Experiencing that deep sense of connection and peace.
Lastly, preparation to jump into inner peace. This involves talking to the deceased.
It offers that possibility, yes. Having peaceful, comforting conversations with loved ones who passed on within that spiritual setting.
So you create their image in the light and communicate.
That's the visualization, a way to find solace and feel a continued connection.
These spiritual jumps really blend visualization with some deep concepts.
They offer a very personal, unique pathway to exploring that side of life.
Okay, final category. Life adventure. Boredom is the enemy here.
Goldman suggests boredom leads to feeling limited. Adventure requires risk, choice, change. It keeps life vibrant.
So preparation to jump into boundless excitement starts with defining excitement for yourself.
Understanding it as the opposite of boredom. Then the jump itself is interesting.
How so?
You visit two twin selves experiencing the same exciting event, one where it goes well, one where it doesn't.
To learn from both success and failure.
Exactly. A balanced view of adventure, acknowledging risks and rewards.
Okay. Preparation to jump into fun opportunities requires a childlike attitude.
Embracing playfulness to spot those simple joys you might otherwise miss.
And the jump involves visiting child twin selves.
Observing their pure fun, their sense of wonder, and trying to recapture that feeling.
Then preparation to jump into exotic flavors. Tasting thoughts.
Haha, yeah, that's an unusual one. Using intuition, like a sixth sense, to evaluate choices by mentally tasting them.
Going beyond just logic.
Right. The jump involves observing a twin self, using this sense effectively. He even suggests trying mentally taste buying a certain car, see how it feels.
And intriguing. And finally, preparation to jump into gentle breeze. An adventure dream.
This one's more freeform. Just letting your imagination carry you off on an amazing adventure, relaxing into it. A reminder that adventure exists in the mind, too.
Okay, so after all these specific jumps, he introduces one final process.
The doppelganger integration process. This is about bringing it all together.
Uniting all those twin selves you've visited.
Consolidating their strengths, wisdom, insights, creating a sort of inner council.
How does that visualization work?
You picture all those twin selves, abundant, healthy, successful, spiritual adventurers sitting around a big mastermind table.
And you're at the head.
Yes, you're the leader. You present a problem you're facing and ask this collective of your potential selves for advice.
Wow. That's a powerful image, drawing on all that potential wisdom simultaneously.
It really is a way to tap into your own expanded resources.
So looking back, we've covered an incredible range through Goldman's quantum jumping lens. Abundance, health, relationships, career, home, spirit, adventure.
It's a very comprehensive framework for potential personal change. And again, we've been exploring the concepts as he presented them.
Absolutely. Which is why we want to turn it over to you, the listener. Which of these jumps, these ideas, really struck a chord with you?
What sparked something? Maybe you challenged a belief.
Take a moment to reflect on that. What resonated and why?
And maybe consider this final thought. If this core idea holds any water, if there are potentially infinite versions of you out there,
what does that truly imply about your own potential right now? About the nature of reality itself?
It's a massive question. Really opens up your thinking.
Definitely something to ponder. We hope this deep dive has given you plenty to think about, whether you embrace these ideas, question them, or just find them fascinating.
Keep exploring those potentials. Until next time.